Get ready to hit the ground running. There's no saying what might happen in youth-adult partnerships, but we found there are some ways to prepare. Thinking about the ratio of young people to adults in meetings is crucial. A high youth-to-adult ratio is more likely to keep young people engaged. If there are a lot of adults, young people may be afraid to talk. They may worry their ideas are too off-topic, or may just never feel like there's a good time to share their ideas without interrupting. Here are some tactics for reducing some of these issues. Look at the meeting agenda and allow youth to choose which ones they want to be a part of and in what way. Young people might want to hold their own separate meetings on some of the topics and send representatives to share their thoughts with the larger group. Large adult conferences can be confusing or frankly boring, so VYPER didn't usually attend adult conferences unless we're able to bring a whole host of young minds along. That way we can hold a somewhat conspicuous shadow conference if youth weren't feeling some of the things at the conference. When adults noticed, our experience was that some took the risk to come see what we were doing. We found this can lead to great interactions. Sometimes the adults' real conference and the young people's shadow conference combine to shift the whole conference to be more youth-friendly and fun. What about having too many young people in a meeting? Can there actually be such a thing? We recommend that new youth-adult partnerships start off inviting everyone who wants to come to everything. You can always break into smaller working groups within the meeting to take on different agenda items. Be prepared to go with the flow and face the unknown. Things can feel really unclear at times because we're not just talking about making things better, we're doing things in a way that is transformational. Remember that adults are there to be a support, so evidence your conviction, be transparent about your concerns, and solve things together. Don't be discouraged by small meetings or low turnouts from time to time. Smaller size meetings tend to be more focused, and young people who may not talk much in bigger meetings might speak a lot. Youth meetings need to run differently than typical adult meetings. You might even want to start changing up how you run your adult meetings when you give these suggestions a try. When opening a meeting, consider asking if someone has a suggestion for a fun question to answer as people introduce themselves. For example, if you were bitten, would you rather be a vampire, zombie, or werewolf? People might also let the group know which pronouns they identify with and prefer. For example, they, them, their, she, her, hers, he, him, his. This helps to acknowledge aspects of diversity and fluidity in the room. Come up with a list of community agreements, not rules, that everyone agrees will make working together feel safer and more supportive. These can be adjusted at any time. Close by answering a checkout question such as, how are you feeling? What were you most excited about? What are you looking forward to covering next time? Consider using an agenda map where topics of interest are put up by anyone. Travel along and note which topics you have visited in whatever order the group wants. Add, subtract, fold up the map and visit points you didn't get to at a future meeting. Young people are not always in charge of their calendars and can have a lot of responsibilities. Organizations may also have staffing, budget, and transportation limits. Work together to figure out how often you'll meet, keeping in mind these limits. Once the ball gets rolling and youth are invested, we've found the issue shifts from what are we going to do to what should we do first, and even how are we going to prioritize because we don't have the time for everything. Because so much can be going on in young lives, who attends meetings can change drastically from meeting to meeting. As long as someone takes notes and can explain how other youth came up with the ideas, we haven't found this a concern. When past ideas are brought up in this way, young people usually ask, what's next? And adults can turn around the question, asking the young people what they think should be next. New young people can bring a different perspective or a change in direction while still helping the project move toward its vision. Adults should have knowledge about available youth services, assessing risk, and making referrals. Once youth become comfortable with adults, our experience is they may share just about anything. That's a good thing, but adults should be ready. You're going to have youth at different points in social development with different levels of maturity and attention span. This can be challenging. It was for us. We want to support young people's diverse developmental needs, but It's also important that young people feel like they are getting things done. This is the glue that builds relationships, working together towards common goals. All kinds of issues are going to come up. With your commitment, we trust that you'll work it out, try new things, and evaluate if those things are working. We can't solve all these problems for you, but we can say that the youth we work with were very understanding. They knew we were doing the best we could and that we wouldn't have answers for everything. Good luck and best wishes with your youth-adult partnerships.